So, welcome back, everyone. Hopefully, this is now working. This is part two of my 21st birthday live stream. And what I was saying before, um, I also don't know why this is going above 2500 kilobits per second. I've just taken the bitrate all the way down, just hoping that it will stay stable now. All I need is literally just the video to go out stable. I don't want to have to record a birthday video and then post that. I want to actually stream. That's what I do most years. So as I was saying, I did it for 19. I don't know if I did it for 18. I think I started doing it at 19. But I did like a video, I think, in the past. I've definitely done, obviously, New Year's and Christmas and that kind of thing. But, oh, 11, look at this. But yeah, the last time I did this was for 19 because for 20 I was just all over the place. I did actually record a video, but it was just awful and I wasn't going to post it. But for my 19th birthday, between 18 and 19, I live streamed the Barbie movie, didn't I? I did a stream watching Barbie movie between 18 and 19. That was the stream for that year, and that does feel like that was 2 years ago. Just for the record, I do feel like I have changed as a person since then. There's been some character development, but that's crazy. The other video that I recorded when I turned 20, that does not feel like a year ago. However, it also does at the same time. Like turning 20, both feels like it was yesterday, and also it's starting to feel like it was as long ago as it was. And a lot has happened in my life since then. I have done so much, but also I've got loads of goals, long-term goals that haven't gone anywhere just yet. And I always say just yet, but I am now turning 21. So it's not that that I have, or I'm just trying to delete this. Hold on. It's not like I have exceptionally high standards for myself, but I actually want to get stuff done. Like I actually want to get big on TikTok. I want to blow up on TikTok. I want to then transfer those people over to YouTube. To be honest with you, I would probably be doing long form content, be followed around with the camera, that kind of thing, for YouTube and stuff like that. But TikTok is where I that's where I want to start. That's where I'm kind of thinking. So I need to start really focusing on that. Like this is the exact time of my life that I'm now entering, that I want to be really focused on that, because I wanted to do it when I was younger. I wanted to grow my accounts when I was like, when did I start? I mean, I got on YouTube when I was 9. Started posting videos when I was 10. Started on TikTok when I was 15. So 21. I wanted to be here by now, but this is when I wanted to be really coming into my prime. So that's what I am working towards. So yeah. So I am just going to be sat here for the next 45 minutes. And I didn't have a plan for the stream. I'm just going to make sure my TikTok's uploaded. But yeah, I'm just going to pass the time into my 21st birthday, basically. Which I can't believe that I've made it to 21. Not in a sinister way, but I actually can't believe that I am going to be 21. It's such a weird thing to actually think that, because I always thought that I was older at heart than I actually was. So to actually be 21 when I always felt like an old person in my own head is like really weird. But I never actually was like I always had the excuse, I actually am young. Well, I'm turning 21. That's like the real adult age. So it's actually pretty big, isn't it? Now, I'm not doing anything big this year for it, because I am moving out partially. I'm going to university, my second year. So I'm going to be in a flat. So I've got a lot going on, and I wasn't gonna be able to do the things I actually wanted to do, other than with family. So I was just like, I will just do that for this birthday, even though it is a massive one. And ideal world, I would have done more. But anyway, it is what it is, and I'll just do whatever next year, and hopefully I'll have worked towards a lot more goals and things. And yeah, hopefully this will be in a different format next year, maybe even. Maybe I'll better do something different other than bedroom live stream. But these are cool. I have done loads of these over the years. But anyway, I've got another 40 minutes. It's just absolutely crazy. I mean, I won't be 21 until 10 at night. That's probably what I said in my 19th live stream. But yeah, that is when my birthday is. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to switch things up for this one. And we are going to go downstairs. Hopefully this still works, because everyone's going to bed. So I'm going to just live stream from downstairs in the lounge, which is something I've never done. I've never made a video down here. Only problem is that there is no lighting whatsoever, and I don't want it to look like it's out of a horror movie or something, so let me try and fix that. Hold on. So you might be wondering, what have I been up to? Basically, not much. It has been a pretty terrible excuse for the way I've been spending my time lately. I've just not been doing much, especially considering how much time I've had off this summer. So that's not great. But yeah, I have wanted to do a lot. I just got in my head about it, and that's no excuse. So I just didn't end up doing that much. Anyway, so yeah, I'm moving out, and I'll just be back here. I've told people on weekends and stuff, but it won't even be that. It will be some weekends. But it will also be more than that, because I'm planning on coming back during the week sometimes as well. Like, I don't know when I'm actually going to be back here, but I'm leaving a lot of my room, unless I change my mind last minute, which could happen, but I'm leaving a lot of my room intact, because I actually want to keep my bedroom, so that I can come back here and do stuff, which I'm planning on doing. I am going to be back here quite often, is what I'm saying. So yeah, obviously, big thing, I haven't moved out before, even though most people would have done that at 18. You might be wondering, why am I doing it at 21 and I'm in year 2? Well, it's because I am the oldest in my year, so I would have turned 19 as soon as I started university. But then I had a gap year, so I turned 20, and here I am, I'm now turning 21, just going into second year. And there's another thing, I don't know whether to change course, and it just all seems a bit silly, even talking about it, because when I first started, oh, what the heck? That is so weird. When I first started last year, in the English course that I'm in, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I decided to do to just go for English. But then I was like, have I chosen the right course? And the whole year, I had this kind of feeling of, I want to change. And I did speak to somebody at the time about changing, but he was like, just wait till the end of the year. I spoke to my tutor as well, and he was like, just wait till the end of the year. I don't recommend you do it anyway. This is the best subject for you to be in, because it's the best subject, because he loves it. that was just completely being biased. But I didn't know what to do, but I just couldn't get rid of the idea, the thought of it, and I didn't enjoy the year really that much in terms of the actual content. So I was just like, I'm gonna have to do this, aren't I? At the start of the summer, but I just wasn't sure, and I left it, and I kept putting it off and putting it off. And this is my number one thing: I'm a chronic procrastinator. But I did have conversations again with the same person from this course, right, about liberal arts, because then I can do media and stuff, and I can like actually bring multiple things into the same course and do more, right? I don't want to spend the whole time talking about school, by the way. But yeah, um, when like he basically just was all for it. He was literally just like, just do this as you know, because I said potentially I might be thinking about changing course, but he was just like, you know, this is what you need to do, as in I'm totally sound for you to come onto this course. I'll get it sorted for you. So um, then I had the pressure of then going to my current course and saying I want to leave, and I wasn't sure. So now it's the middle of September, and the period ends when you can change in October, pretty early in October, and I just don't know. I haven't been sure. And in the past couple of weeks, this is the last piece of the kind of thing. I just decided I was probably just going to leave it and stay in the course, because I was thinking, this is what I know. There was a lot of upheaval even coming to university in the first place, because I wasn't planning on it. I never planned on going to university. And I was actually one of those people that was like, university, I was always like snobby about it, even though that doesn't make any sense, does it? Um, being snobby about having an education, but you know what I mean. Um, so I I kind of rushed into it in the first place. So then I was like, I'm probably just going to let it lapse. Send an email to the liberal arts guy and say I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to stay in English. But just as I was getting ready to write that email today, I was like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do this. I actually might have to switch subjects, because it brought back all of these things of like, what am I here for? Now, truly, I would just want to be big on the internet. I want to be making money from the internet, from TikTok, from YouTube. I want to, make shows not just online but just generally. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. I want to, be making media. I want to do music. I want to do all those kinds of things. Hold on. All right, so I want to do all of those different things, but this I want to do to pass the time while I'm building that. That's what university is, and it will give me a brilliant degree to have as well. It's obviously also a good backup plan, but I don't necessarily want to have to use that. Um, but yeah, that is the idea. Um, but yeah, so here I am. Best laid plans. Obviously, I've got to actually build this up. Um, but yeah, that is the idea. And university, I was asking myself, since what I'm here for is just because I'm passing the time doing something that hopefully I enjoy, and hopefully coming out with a good grade for doing that. I'm not doing it, to be like, I'm not doing it in the same way that most people go to university for, where they're taking it so seriously and they've planned for it their entire lives and all those that kind of thing. I am taking it very seriously, but it's kind of for me, and it's more of a a kind of thing as like a project that I really want to work on. because I have like a different perspective on it. So I'm like, I really want to actually enjoy what I'm doing here. I want to make this really worthwhile, and like have like the experience be good. And I just haven't really been having that from English. It's just not been that good of a course. But anyway, that's because I wasn't like a massive nerd who was into books. Oh, I haven't been since like primary school. I was good at spelling, but and I was decent at English, but I was better at media. And yeah, so I only really rediscovered that I even liked English in A levels. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that's what I've been kind of worrying about, like wondering what I should do, and I don't know. So I'll have to come back to that one. But I'm gonna have to decide by the end of the week. I'm gonna have to email, and then that'll just set the whole process off. Or just send one email to the liberal arts guy and say I'm not doing it, which would be a lot easier, wouldn't it? But anyway, we'll see. So yeah, next birthday will be 22, and that is nowhere near as important. Neither are any of the rest of my birthdays after this one. Like, this is the important one. There's 17, you learn to drive. 16, you can consent. And is that it? I think that's it. You can get married with permission. 18, you can do everything. 19, you can't do anything really extra. But, it's just, it isn't a special birthday, 19. 20, you're not a teenager anymore. And 21 is the milestone after 18. It's literally 16, 18, 21. So yeah, obviously a big day for me tomorrow. And I can't believe in half an hour I'm going to be hitting it. It doesn't even feel like a year since I posted my last video of being a teenager or whatever it was as like my Spotify playlists or something. It doesn't even feel like it's been a year since then. But obviously my video, like, I am a lot more comfortable in front of a camera and stuff again, just like I used to be. The amount of videos I've been watching from me, being a kid recently, just proves that that was just how I was. I just grew up in front of a camera basically. But I kind of stopped being like that eventually. But anyway, so yeah, I don't want to be too loud because now even the extracts fan it has gone off. Like, everyone's going to sleep now, which is great. I may go back into my room soon. But yeah, I don't have my stream chat on, by the way, so if anyone is typing anything, I won't know. As always, I don't do live streams to like look at the stream chat. I do live streams because I don't want to do a video, because then I'll have second thoughts about posting it, and like I'd have to edit it and stuff. I'd rather just put an unedited thing out, and it can be as long as I want it to be. I can literally just sit there talking for 5 hours if I want to, and that's what's happened on some of my live streams. Like, that's just what I do. But anyway, let's go over to well, not my desk, but the desk over here, and plug in. I was planning on doing like streaming and stuff when I do move into my flat that I'm going to be staying in during the week. But let me just plug in because I am on 27% now. But I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do that because hang on, no, that's just me going on autopilot. Like, I was literally just speaking on autopilot at that point. But I don't know, genuinely how much I will be recording when I'm out there. That was mainly for if I got a studio, because I was planning on getting a studio flat out there. But I was like, if I'm doing this and I'm moving out there, the first year that I might as well do it properly, because then I'll meet more people than I did, because I didn't really meet that many people first year, traveling in, stuff like that. Even though the if you know me, the ideal thing for me to do would be to move into a studio because I'm like a very independent person. But um, I just thought I do really want to have this experience and like meet people and be in a flat and kind of do the first year thing, even if it is in the second year. So that's why I'm doing that. So I think I'll mainly be making more kind of TikToks and stuff like that, but I probably still will occasionally stream and record out there. Mainly though, it'll be when I'm back here. I don't know what's going on there. Because look, if I move this around, you can see my dock and stuff. I really don't know why that is. But anyway, yeah, it's mainly going to be when I'm back here, I think. All my TikToks I will be posting just as normal when I'm out there. But I need to get back into it, really. I need to actually commit to that series. The reason I haven't posted even regular TikToks is because I was like, I have an idea of what I want to do here. I'm not posting anything else until I do it, but I just wasn't doing it. I was like, this is the one thing I want to be focused on. And I don't want to be doing anything else because it's not as good as the thing that I'm trying to do. And yeah, I wasn't doing that either. I'm going to go get my phone. It's over there. No, it's not. And I don't know where it is. That's amazing. Where is it? Let's try and find it. Find my... Also, I did spend most of my 20th year going on about how I was growing my hair out. Just as I was like trying to start doing, just as when I was 19, just like about to turn 20. Last year, I started growing it out so that I could kind of get a middle part. And this is where I'm at. And it absolutely drives me mad, I'll tell you why. So, this is fine. I have to wear it over in a side part because it just will not middle part comfortably because it all like wants to go over this way, like it all does, right? Especially everything from the middle, like here onwards, it all wants to go to the right. It's only left because it's flipped. So I was just like, I'm caving. I'm gonna wear it as a side part for the time being, right? Hopefully, when it's long enough, I better put it in the middle part or something else, or even perm it again because I used to have it permed, and I actually would rather have my natural hair texture. But if I have, if it looks better, I might just try that again. But even still, my hair finds a way to piss me off, and I'll tell you why. Because if I push it over, even if I'm putting it over to the right, which is exactly what it wants to do, it will not middle part properly, and it won't stay middle parted properly. Look where my hair falls. So all of that pushes over, but the fringe bit here, I don't know why it's not doing it now, but this bit here, look where this falls. This bit here. The rest of it isn't really a problem, it just stays back. But this always comes down. This is where I wear a cap all the time, because this bit falls down, and look where it falls. Straight into my eye. This eye is constantly got hair in it. And by the end of the stream, yeah, there we go, straight back down again. And it will always be in my eye. And I'm having to do that to prove it. And it's not doing it, but trust me, it always is. And it drives me absolutely mad. I literally can't win. Like, I wish I just didn't have the front part of my hair. I could just get rid of it. But anyway, there's that. That's the progress. It is really long, and I've had it cut. I had a little bit cut off the front because I'm trying to maintain it and stuff. But yeah, still, it's really long. Anyway, where am I? Let's see. So it's 11:35. I feel like I should be doing more. I was gonna write an entry like before the end of the day, but I ran out of time. I went to the gym, and when I came back, it was time to start the recording basically. So here we are. Look, you can't even see this because the most of my hair's there, but there is literally a bit of it in my eye. It is infuriating because I literally do this to just go with the way that my hair naturally wants to go. But it just can't be happy doing that, can it? Anyway, I need to find my phone. So hold on a second. So, I'm just going to chill in front of the camera now. This was like the dream, just to stream and just be like able to just sit on my phone and like talk about random things. I swear that's what I started off doing when I started streaming again, which is perfect, really. I need to start doing that again. I need to start streaming again, honestly. But that's just not the main thing I'm focused on. See how many views this video's got? 66, which is not bad. 1 like, obviously. It's a brand new thing. You need to see everyone needs to see the idea, the picture. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can tell you I didn't do that on purpose. Anyway. So, yeah, let me just go back on here. I need to do my Duolingo actually, so let's do that. Duolingo. Now that's something I've been doing. I have this streak, right, that I've been doing since I was either 16 or 17. 2021. Let me see when it started. Now, I'll be honest, I wanted to get rid of the streak. I was sick of having to do it every day. Because I'm like, the one thing that I'm not procrastinating on, the one thing I'm like actually doing daily consistently is my Duolingo. I'm not interested. So I was like, I want to let this streak go. It's really annoying me. I'm not even feeling like I'm actually learning. And I'm learning, but it's like a lot of the stuff that I'm doing it's taking ages to get anywhere, basically. So I let the streak end, but I was like, this is a mistake, and I had to pay money to get the streak back because I was like, I actually want to keep this going. So I actually spent money. It's one of the only times I've ever spent money on an app to keep my Duolingo streak going. That is a true story, and that was only about a month ago. So I almost lost a 1,100 day streak, and it was since I was about 17, I think. So I started it in 2022, turned 18, 19, 20, now 21, and I've still got the same streak. And if I'd have just chosen to carry on the streak, it would have been unbroken, but I just didn't want to, really. So I'm not dropping frames anymore, so I'm so much calmer now because I'm not seeing the whole thing just stop working in front of my eyes. And like, I was watching the YouTube video, like the YouTube stream of this on my phone, and it was all over the place. Exactly what I didn't want to happen was happening. It doesn't buffer on OBS unless you set it to, and obviously I've not got it set to. So when it's not streaming, that video is just lost. You can't see what I'm saying. Anyway, I don't really want to be doing this. Those birds, those passengers, similar word to birds, isn't it? Were from, I think it is anyway. We're going to Madrid. Did not think I'd be doing this at this time of the day. Genuinely, this is not where I thought I'd be on my 21st birthday. It's so strange. But also it's exactly what I would be doing if I wasn't, anywhere else. Where's my luggage? Do you have any identification, or is it do you have identification? Yeah, it's do you have identification. Cheers, mate. Oh, no, it's not that. I just missed out half. I need to see your identification, which is the same in English and Spanish, basically. That's not hard. Did they leave for the opera? No, they already leave for the opera? This is taking ages. This really is taking forever. I don't want to spend my whole time doing this. but otherwise I lose the streak, is planning a hike to the mountains. Did you reserve the tickets for the stadium? Can you hurry up, please? I'm only halfway through even now. I'm not doing the speaking tasks. What do you plan to do in the afternoon? Mug, luggage. Oh my gosh. I'm not focused enough for this. Oh my gosh. Notebook, and there's that. Still only not even 3/4 of the way, or just about. So annoying. What? I swear Duolingo is making it harder and harder to like actually finish a lesson. It's making it longer and longer and longer and actually harder. Obviously, I'm years into this now, so it should be a hard part of the course. But like the lessons are getting longer and the AI is getting worse, so it's actually teaching you stuff that's not you're having to try harder to even learn. Oh, you know what I've been watching? Me stuttering has just reminded me of Ozzy Osbourne. I've been watching the Osbournes, and it's just amazing. Like that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. At some point in my life, I'm going to have a show just like the Osbournes. I love that format. I love it. Did you reserve the tickets for opera? Did you reserve the tickets for opera? There we go. Did you reserve the tickets for the opera? Geography, luggage. But yeah, it's just brilliant. I would be watching that actually if I wasn't doing anything else. That's why I haven't been doing anything. Been watching stuff like that. Also, I keep thinking it's almost Wednesday. It's Monday. It's almost Tuesday. It's I've been watching The Summer I Turned Pretty again. Obviously, the new season's come out. Which, oh my gosh, I cannot get this right. And it's just really annoying me now because I just want to get this over and done with. But yeah, I can't remember when I watched the first seasons, but I think all in one go, either last year or the year before, maybe. I think it was last year though. Although I don't know. Might have been the year before, you know. Do you have any identification? Can you please just. It's still not done. A person that travels. Finally. Have I got any. Reached any milestones? No, I haven't. But yeah, I've been watching that for years basically, and I've been watching the latest season, and I'm just waiting for every Wednesday for it to come out because actually it's not been very good for the past couple of episodes. No one's thought it's been very good, except for like insane people who actually like Belly and Jeremiah. But it's not been good. But like the suspense for the episodes has been amazing, and also like before these past few episodes, it's been amazing, and it literally ends this Wednesday, which I don't want to think about. That's not good. That's horrible. Anyway, so yeah, 16 minutes, 11:44. Another angel number there. I think that is anyway. 44 is, isn't it? Can you see how much it annoys me? This is why I wear like caps and Alice bands and things. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to try and do a middle part again when I move out, because I'm like, I actually want to, like, at the minute I can get away with my hair looking insane, bedheaded and just crazy. I took it behind my ears at the side so it doesn't look that bad. But I do actually want it to look a bit better when I go out, move away. But yeah, anyway, literally the main thing that screwed it up was just getting the tiniest bit. Like I had the split ends cut off, and that was the tiniest bit of length, and even that tiny bit completely took off enough length to the point where it doesn't flow anymore, and it just goes in my eyes. It's really annoying because it was just stopping doing that, and it starts doing it again. I should never have asked for it. but I didn't expect it to do that. But anyway, 15 minutes. Should I do something? Should I do? I would watch something because that's what I've done in the past, but I don't really want to do that. Could do something, jumping jacks. Could learn to break dance or something in the time that I've got free. I don't know. Should I actually try and learn to do something, or like watch like a tutorial for something and try and complete it? I don't know. I can't wait for my future self. There's a repost. But yeah, it is strange to actually be at 21. I keep seeing the number as well, actually, and like it popping into my head and stuff. It's been really weird, and it still feels like it's a week away. I've been saying this today. It still feels like, even though it's 13 minutes away now, it feels like it's still a week away, which it was. I felt the exact same. But yeah, it just doesn't feel real. I don't know if it did when I turned 19, though, to be fair. I think I just always thought I was going to be 18 forever. And I didn't want to turn 18 because I didn't want to actually have to be an adult, technically an adult. Obviously, it is an adult, and technically, this isn't any different, but it just is more of a big number. It's like a bigger version of an adult that doesn't really get any more responsibilities. For the next 10 minutes, I can still drink underage in the US. That was on my bucket list for this summer. If I could find a way to get to the US, and I was saving up for it, but I just couldn't justify it. I wanted to bucket list drink in the US underage, but I don't think I'd even have gotten away with it, unless I was like an influencer who could just get away with anything, like they do. Um, you're not going to get away with that easily, anyway. I mean, if you have people there that can buy you drinks, it's fine. But yeah, I'm never going to be able to do that. But yeah, next milestone I guess is either 25 or 30, no matter it, like, depending on how you think of it. Which I guess, I mean, there's not many milestones when you're a teenager, are there? Well, there's a load when you're like a late teenager, but like 10 is the milestone. I remember when I was 10 thinking it's going to be crazy when I turn 18, but it's going to be even crazier when I turn 20. I can still remember thinking that like it's yesterday, and that was 2014. But yeah, so you got 10, 11 is nothing, 12 nothing, 13 is something, 14 nothing, 15 nothing, 16 doesn't feel like much, but it is something, and then you got all the kind of milestones after that. But there's not that many in the first years. But I do still feel, in a lot of ways, like the person that was in high school, because that was only a few years ago. It was only 2 years ago, actually. It's going for 3, but it was only 2 years ago that I was still in high school. I saw something today, actually, which kind of shocked me. So when I was leaving my high school, they had an old block from the 1980s that they pulled down because it had asbestos in it and was on its way out anyway. I think that, it was rotten and all those kind of things. It had a mural on it, actually, that I was like, I always wondered what's going to happen to that. And imagine it just got smashed in. Somebody would have painted that, one of the students, maybe 20 years ago. Who knows? It could have been any time, really. And it would have just gone. I think it did actually get smashed. I think I saw it. But I do remember taking one last walk through it before it got torn down, like the next day. And I remember seeing it like half torn. It was crazy because I'd just walked through it, even though it was empty and you weren't even supposed to be in there. And I mentioned to my brother, who goes to the same school now, who never did at the time, have you ever been to this block, right? And I think it's the block that I'm thinking about. It might have been the one next to it or something like that, but I think it was the cooking block. T block, I think it was called. And that block, I was just typing in something on Google. I can't even remember. I think the reason I had it on there is because I was trying to look at photos from a trip from years ago that I went on with the school. I wanted to see if they were online, which they weren't. But I saw that there was like a green space that I didn't recognize. I was like, that block looks the wrong color. So then I was like, hang on a minute. That block is the right color, but that used to have a block next to it. And there was just grass, just like a big space of grass, because they've torn it down. And that's when you think, okay, I left in early 2023, it's now 2025, it's not a massive amount of time, but everything's changing. You know, even though they put a brand new block in, which I actually did go in the new block. I took my GCSE maths in there, my retake, just before I left A levels, because it got finished in the weeks or months before I finished school. And I went in there like once or twice, and that was it. And I sort of started to see the school changing, and I was like, I'm not going to be here for the first time, I'm not going to be here to see any of this, to have it mean anything. I'm actually going to have to go out there and do something for myself. You know, this is my time now. I'm not in school anymore. This is not just, you know, I can do what I want now. You know, and I ended up in my gap year wasn't a gap year. It was actually just me deciding I'm gonna post to YouTube and stream, which I didn't do much of, but I did stream sometimes, I think, and make a couple of videos. I didn't like any of them really, though. And I did definitely stream because my 19th birthday stream was back then. But it wasn't a gap year. It was just me going out there and being in the world, you know, and I was gonna start to try and, you know, make it then. But also, you know, my sideline became the main thing that I was focused on, which was making money. And I made a lot more than I'm making now. But I focused on it too much. So I regret that to a degree, but also not. I mean, I wouldn't change it. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, it was weird because this whole block, because I just looked at a photo because I'm getting a load of photos that I'm going to put on a photo frame, digital photo frame that I've ordered and take with me. And I looked at one of the photos. I'm not going to take this one with me because it's just like a horrible, hideous photo of me with awful, like, spack hair. Like, actually genuinely awful. It's like me with like a businessman's hair, but it just looks awful. And like it looks really greasy as well because of the product we used. But yeah, it's me like holding some pasta or something for my cooking exam for my GCSEs in 2020, 2021. And it's in that block. And I was like, I've just seen a photo of there, and that's completely gone now. And I had no idea. But anyway, it's now 5 minutes, and I'm talking about something completely else. But it has all kind of come into it, hasn't it? Really, it's all come back to the kind of thing. I just feel like I should be doing more because this is such a big thing. Like, there's a nervous energy. But yeah, I feel like I should be doing more with the time, considering I'm literally going to be 20. I can't comprehend it still. It doesn't feel like it's actually a thing. So this must be a really fun watch for you guys. Must be really brilliant, hilarious. Anyway, it's 55. I would have said 56, but it is 55. I don't know what I'm going to do about this course thing. If anything, I'll just do nothing. If I'm going to get that stressed out about it. But yeah. I would say kind of last things of being 20 and of not being 21, you know, not being a full 21-year-old adult, whatever. Because obviously it is a milestone, you know, not being at this milestone. But I think I already know what I would want to say to myself. I already know how I feel about it. You know, I don't really need to memorialize it because there's a million things that I'm that I've been thinking, but also at the same time, it's just like I've also been thinking, I'm at this milestone, everything that I haven't done, I still want to do, and I have even more motivation to do it than, not than ever, because I wanted to do it before now, but, I have even more motivation to just get on with it. And, most people only start getting on with stuff and, making their own way at like 2021. So I'm not behind. It's just I had even bigger aspirations. So yeah, I'm just gonna get out, into the world now and do those things. That's something I'm really excited to do, and put myself out there into the world now. That's the main thing for 21. Um, so that's what I'm going to take away from it. Um, but yeah, that is it really. So yeah. Other than that, I've just got to wait for 3 minutes now. Not even 4 minutes. I always say I'm not X age until 10 o'clock, but then it makes it really tense, because when it actually gets to 10 o'clock, I'm like, well, actually, now I am this age, which is kind of scary. I remember thinking I'm a teenager until 10 o'clock last year, which wasn't really true. It was my birthday. Everyone was saying happy birthday and stuff. But yeah, it's also shit being the oldest person that you know. Not the oldest person that you know. Like, I have friends that are older than me, but like the oldest person in my year that I know. There were older people in my year, but there was only like two, and I wasn't friends with them. So it just felt shit, because everyone else had their birthday months after you, so you always felt much older. Especially when I turned 18, and my nearest, closest in age mate didn't turn 18 until January. So I still had months where I could do things that he couldn't do. I could drive when I was turning 17, and he couldn't do it. But yeah, anyway, the kind of thing that I'm taking away from this, as I said, is what I said, but also it's I don't want to procrastinate, and I don't want to limit myself anymore. I have no reason to. I'm not too young to do anything now. And I did kind of not do certain things because I was in school and all those different things, which were not valid reasons, but at the same time, it made sense. Um, but now I can do everything, and it's like the perfect time to do everything, is what I'm trying to say. Even though I wanted to do them before, it was my plan to do more before, but I just didn't. It's not that I failed, it's just I didn't do things. Um, but now it's the perfect time to actually come into my own and do those things. And it's now 11:59. So let's try something. Okay, well, I don't think that's going to work. I was hoping that you'd be able to see my screen capture, so I could do like, you know, show you the time like as it turns to midnight, but I'm just going to do it on my phone here. So this is actually it. I turn 21 in 20 seconds, and this is the milestone. And then that's it. And then I've got the whole birthday. So 11:59. And good luck to me. Midnight. Tuesday, the 16th of September. I am technically 21 years old. I was born 21 years ago in 2004, which is strange because everyone always goes on about, birthdays and stuff. I don't remember when I was born. So I haven't lived for 21 years because I wasn't conscious for 21 years, was I? I don't even know that I was born 21 years ago. Everyone goes on about this is my birthday. I know when this is. But how do you know? How do you know you were born on the 16th of September 2004? I don't. Could have been born in 2002, could have been born in 2005. I don't know. Some people, that is genuinely a plot in some movies and things. People just don't know. Anyway, it's almost a minute past, so it is official, guys. It is official. and it's here, and it hasn't even hit me yet at all. So here I am, just chirping away. It doesn't feel any different, but it will. I always like the one thing that I wish I'd do when I do hit hit a birthday or whatever, and I'm like streaming or something. All I wish I'd do is just like think about it for a second before it happens. Like just take it in, and then let it happen, kind of thing. So think I am 20, and then I will be 21, kind of thing. But I just end up kind of going, what do I want to do? What am I appreciative of? All these different things instead. But anyway, yeah, there's that. I mean, I wasn't planning on streaming for much longer than this, but I'm quite enjoying it. I still can't see the chat, so if anyone has been typing, I'm really sorry. That is shit, because, yeah, I just haven't seen anything that you've said. But yeah, also, iOS 26 came out yesterday, which is really exciting, but I'm still on iOS 17 because that was my choice. I just decided I don't need to update because I need some things that iOS 17 has, like these older widgets that you can only get on iOS 17 and before. So until I get a new phone, I'm thinking I might just not upgrade it, although I might have to just upgrade this to iOS 26 because I might just not be able to resist it, really. But yeah, there we go. Do I look older? Do I sound? Do I feel older? The one thing I was scared about when I turned 20, real talk, was looking older. Not looking young anymore. How people say you have like a second puberty and you don't look like a teenager anymore. I was like, I'm not done being a teenager yet. I'm not done. Genuinely, I'm not done being a teenager yet. I'm not done doing all those things that I wanted to do. So I didn't, looking older was just kind of an admission of that fact that I am getting older. So I was like, I don't want to look older. I don't look any older than I did when I turned 20. Or maybe I look a little bit more mature, kind of looking. Like my face looked better, honestly, and probably my build as well. I just look more kind of put together, I think, is the only way I'd say it. But I don't think I look any different. I don't think my features have changed or anything, like at all. I have seen people say you look like one or two people say you look older, but generally nobody's saying like I don't even feel like I look any different to when I was 19 or 18. Although when I was 18, I was a little gimp. 19 was fine, but 18 I was a gimp. 17 I was fine as well. It was just really awkward. And I looked awkward as well, so it just made me feel even more awkward. Like my build was really lanky. It still is lanky, but like I work out more and stuff, so it doesn't really, it's not a problem. But anyway, I can't believe how much stuff I've gone on about for the past almost hour. And here we are. There's nothing to wait for now. I'm literally here. I don't like birthdays because I actually prefer the day before the birthday when you still feel like you're the age before and you still feel younger. I don't want to get older. Especially, this is the last milestone birthday, and this is what I will say of being young and being like a kid and all these different things. I don't like the fact that I am going through these milestones. I don't enjoy that. It's not something I relish. I think if I was in a different place where I was like more successful, I would be more happy with it. But even still, I probably wouldn't be. I'd probably be saying a lot of the same thing. Also, there's paper falling underneath my chair, and it's really annoying me. But yeah, I'd probably be saying the same thing, just with different reasons. Like it just annoys me. Like it's not something I like to celebrate anymore. I never had a problem with it until I turned 18. Never had a problem with it at all. Until probably 16, actually. I think when I turned 16, I kind of started to realise, wow, I am, older now. This things that I can now do things that I couldn't do before. I've got agency. I can be more independent, and I love that. But at the same time, it's a lot of responsibility, and my stream's not working anymore. Is my stream working? But as what I was saying was, I love the fact that I'm getting older in the sense that I can be more independent, but I'm not necessarily going to be just yet. Was what I was thinking. During all of those ages, and I was like, I don't necessarily want to be like that. I want the option to be, but I also want to be able to go out and do everything I was doing before, and not feel too old for it. But also I want to be able to move on and be a 16, 17, 18-year-old and do all the things that they do. So it was weird. It was like a balancing act. But anyway, there's that. I don't know if there's anything else I want to say. That was a good stream. That was definitely a good stream. And I always say I'm going to stream a lot more. But what I will say is that I have enjoyed streaming so much that I can imagine that I will stream more. I can't just say I will because sometimes I'm just not in the mood to. But right now, if I was in the same position tomorrow, I would stream exactly the same because I've really enjoyed doing this, and I'm not planning on I'm going to be posting videos just like the one I posted today, but it's what was I going to say? I can't remember now. Oh yeah, but I also would want to do this because I've enjoyed doing this and I actually have motivation to do it. But anyway, there we go. 21. I am as old as a third year in university because that's where I should be right now. In fact, I'm as old as some people leaving university, which is ridiculous. Some people have left university and are 21. And that's not because of the gap year, that's just because I'm the oldest in my year. Or one of the oldest. Which is insane. But most people haven't. Most people are in year 3 and they are my age. So I'm going to feel really weird being in year 2, but thank God I had made that year into a gap year that wasn't a gap year, and didn't join this year because I would have been a mature student, what's classed as, and that would have been ridiculous. Like, that is actually, you are an old person if you do that, and no shame to anyone that does do that, but you're not like a gap year student or anything like that. It's not the normal course of things, is it? I can't wait till this bloody thing here, that section here, tucks behind my ear like that. That's all I want it to do. But look how short it is still. All these months later, it's still not long enough. Can you believe it? Because I can't. I mean, look how long my hair is, and it's still not long enough to do that. I'm going to be 22, and my hair is going to be in the anagen phase or whatever it is, and it's going to not have grown at all, and I'm going to be sitting here with the same problems. Or I'll have a buzz cut. I'm not getting another buzz cut. I did that because I didn't like, genuinely, the only reason I got a buzz cut was because I thought I want to make my hair healthier again. So I did that. After getting a perm, I had a perm earlier that year when I was 18. I'd been planning on getting one since I was 17, and I'd been growing it out, but then I just had it all cut down again because I just wasn't sure. I wasn't confident that I was going to be able to rock it. So I sacrificed all the progress. Then when I turned 18, I finally managed to do it. But I hated it. Not the perm, but I hated the way that it made my hair feel. The perm looked really good actually, but I couldn't style it that well anyway. So I got a buzz cut because my hair felt so fried. Genuinely, that was the reason. A lot of people were doing it that year. It was like a viral thing to get a buzz cut. I wouldn't have known really what it was if it hadn't been viral that year, but I didn't do it for the same reasons as everyone else. I did it because I also I need to do the podcast more. The reason I stopped doing that was because I didn't want people finding it. 100%. That's the reason why. Which is so crazy. Like, I don't understand the dichotomy inside of my brain because I want to put that stuff out there and I don't even care that people find it. But them finding it is a red flag, and it also in the moment stops me from recording certain things. It would have stopped me from doing this stream, but it's not going to. There is no way in hell it's doing that. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I ended up getting a buzz cut. Got all my hair cut off, and I absolutely hated it. I was hoping it would be all right, and I bought a cap because I wasn't expecting it to be great, but I wasn't expecting it to be as bad as it was. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. This is miserable. I hated it. Every day I looked at my hair, and I also look like a seal because, as you can see, my hair grows out into a peak here. So I looked like, imagine me with no hair. I look like a seal because my hair all kind of goes forward like that. It's weird. You don't notice, and I never noticed that before until I got a buzz cut. It's also longer than it's ever been. Like in 2020 when I grew it out. This is the most easy thing to talk about genuinely on stream. But in 2020 I grew it out because I couldn't get to the barbers, even though my dad is a barber and was at the time. Didn't make any sense. But I grew it out and it felt ridiculously long, but it was just because the side bit here was growing out. The fringe and everything wasn't actually that long. It just felt really long. And now that I look back at it, it still feels really long, but it isn't. Like if I actually kind of look at it, that's not that long. Also, I look crazy because I had a Galaxy S8 and it just smoothed the shit out of my skin. Like, it just looked so odd. See if we can find another one. There we go. Look at that. That's not long at all. The only thing was my fringe felt a little bit longer than it normally does, so I didn't really like it falling in my face. But like, look, it was just fine. The longest it ever got was where I was still going in June of 2020. It was like this. I love this. So I had an Ariana Grande podcast that I started, and that was the cover for it. Me doing this. Can I still do the pose? This is 5 years later. I was 15 when I did this. Where's the pose? I love this. I love that I just had the idea to do this. And I actually followed through with it as well. It was just the most random, brilliant thing because it's. Anyway, which side of my face was it? It's this side. But this is flipped, isn't it? So it would have to be like this, wouldn't it? That's it. I can't do it anymore. My face actually looks more round. That can't be true. Oh no, you know the reason why that is the bloody Galaxy S8. It like makes your face structure look different as well. But I thought my hair looked so long. It was just because it was a little bit untidy, really. That was the only thing. I just look like Jim Halpert now. Which isn't a bad thing, really. I like it, even though everyone says his hair looks crazy. This was as long as it got. This is the photo I was trying to find. That does look pretty long, doesn't it? It actually looks in some ways longer than this, but it's just this is like one load of hair, like it's one length, whereas that was all over the place. And then 4 days later, oh my gosh, that's awful. I'm not showing that for more than 2 seconds. 4 days later, it was that short again, and I looked like a 15-year-old. I looked like a teenager again. I didn't look like a 30-year-old man. But yeah, there we go. I actually do appreciate the fact that this is as long as it is. It's quite cool. It makes you appreciate it, really. The work and the effort that you put into it. because I would like to say that it's still growing out from when I was 19, which was, if you can look back at all my old streams, I haven't taken any of them down. Some of them I might edit in the future, but most of them will stay up exactly as they are, because genuinely they were really fun streams to make and there was nothing wrong with them. And I don't want to take things down generally anyway. But if you look back at all those streams, I was growing it out for a middle part, and it all got taken away because of that barber didn't even speak English and took all my hair away, or took it to the length where it didn't sit at all, and I couldn't do anything with it, so I had to just get the rest of it taken away. And yeah, otherwise I would have like two times the length. It'd be like down here, probably. Not that I don't know if I'd let it get. I will let it get to a certain length. I'm just deciding where, because I'm not trying to make it look too feminine, but I also do want it to be quite long. So we'll see. But anyway, I'm going to start posting that series on TikTok. The idea is literally, so like this right here, like I'm sitting talking to the camera on stream, just to be 100% authentic about some topic that I'm thinking about. Like when I'm thinking, I've got my internal monologue, I'll be like, this thing, I don't like the way this is done, or I've been thinking about this really irritates me, or this, I think it should be done this way, or whatever, right? My monologue, just like if I was on Big Brother in the hot seat. On TikTok, like I'm FaceTiming, right? That's the only way I can describe it, the only equivalence. Now, it is Ariana Grande pre-sale today, isn't it? Let me have a look. 53 minutes ago, so I think tomorrow would be today. I know it was supposed to come out on my birthday, which was just fucking heaven sent. That Ariana Grande pre-sale. I've been waiting for. I've just been talking about the podcast that I did when I was 15. I've been waiting for this for a tour that I could go to of hers, and I'm not joking about this. Like sometimes I might exaggerate, but I'm not exaggerating here. I have been waiting for this since I was 14. Started listening to Ariana Grande's music when I was like 11, but not really. Became a fan when I was 14, like a big fan. I've been waiting for the tour ever since. I really wanted to go to the Sweet and Wild tour, and I watched it end because I was like, I can't get to that. Or I'm not going to get to that. I do remember literally the last date, and I was like, oh, this is so shit. I think it was the last UK date, actually. I think it was the last actual date. But I remember the last UK date, and I was like, now I can't go there. I can't do that. It's just like this. Now I'm not 20 anymore. I've just watched myself turn 21. That's the weird thing about time, isn't it? Really strange. But yeah. It just comes back to the whole reason that we're on this stream in the first place. But yeah, it is pre-sale apparently. I thought they'd put it back. I think they had put it back, so maybe they've taken it back again. I don't know. Let me have a look. I have got my pre-sale code, so I'm not really sure if it's just that they're talking about, just the pre-sale code, because I have it and I'm not going to show it. I almost showed it on camera, but I have my pre-sale code. So here's the plan, right? I have money saved up for America still, as I was talking about earlier. So I'm going to spend £50 on it to do this Camp America thing if I end up doing it, because there's a campsite that you can do where, and it's not the ideal trip to America. I want to be doing this on my own, but at the same time, I kind of don't at the same time. Like I want to be, if I'm doing it on my own, I want to like have it be structured, and I want to have a reason to be out there, and this would just be as a tourist at the minute while I'm still kind of, figuring stuff out and growing. So the best way of doing things would actually be to go to like a summer camp first to give me that structure, and then to go to to go out on my own afterwards after I've kind of gotten familiar and comfortable with everything. The only thing is, I'm not sure I want to spend 2 months abroad at a summer camp. So me staying in a flat, a student flat, now that I'm 21. Oh my gosh! And it's 21 minutes past. I tell you, I keep seeing that number. I'm not joking. It is so weird. I took a photo of the bin outside earlier today because I was walking past it, thinking about my birthday, and look what number it was. You can't see it, but it says 21. It's absolutely insane. I just keeps flashing in my head. Maybe that's a good sign. I'm taking that as a good sign. I think it actually is a good sign. It has to be. But anyway, yeah, I'm thinking after the camp, I can just go out there and do my own thing, and it will just be a lot more structured and easy at that point instead of just flying out there like a headless chicken. But yeah, I'm genuinely thinking about doing that. But I still have money left over from that, so I can use that to buy tickets. So the question then becomes, I'm not going to be this young again, and neither is she. She's going to be like 40 the next time she tours. So this is the time. Do I just spend all of my birthday money from my dad or whatever on this ticket? Instead of getting a regular ticket, do I get a meet and greet ticket? Because I remember watching YouTube videos as a 14-year-old. Genuinely, summer of 2019, I was sat there watching these meet and greet videos, meet and greet experience videos, not even the meet and greet, but a man called Mario Tarquinio talking about his experience. And it was the most amazing video. I just loved it because I was like, there's another person that's a fan out there just as much as I am. And he got to do this thing, and I find this absolutely fascinating. I don't normally find that kind of thing interesting. But there we go. Anyway, I still find that video brilliant. I still remember his channel. He hasn't posted anything in years either. It's mainly just that stuff that he posted 6-7 years ago. 6-7. Nobody's going to know what that is in a few years' time. That Somber guy is really cool, actually. So he's just turned 19, hasn't he? Or has he just turned 20? I think he's just turned 20 because he was born in 2005. So he was the same age as me until a few minutes ago. But yeah, he was 19 when he did a video with Addison Rae, which is just so cool, honestly. Like, not my favourite TikToker, but I wouldn't pass it up. Like, it's really cool. And he's just done a video and put out like an amazing song. 12 to 12 is really good. I don't like any of his other stuff, but that is a really good song. And I kept hearing it. Alright, so came out. Just waiting for the stream to come back. So yeah, the song comes out, 12 to 12. And I hear it. I didn't really like it very much. Left it, kind of just forgotten about it. Give it a few weeks to a month. I hear it again. Don't hear it for a while. Give it another couple of weeks. I hear it again, and I'm in the car. And this was a couple of days ago, and I'm like, "That's it. I'm gonna Shazam this. I'm gonna put this in my playlist." I knew it was Somber, I think, but I wanted to Shazam it, so it just went into my playlist automatically. And I was just like, "That's it. It snapped. I like this song now. Like I can't, I'm not just like casually going, oh, this is quite good. I actually want to listen to this now." And that was the moment. That was the moment I became a Somber fan, which is, I'm not. I actually did become a Sabrina Carpenter fan recently, which I wasn't expecting to say because her first modern album, she's put out loads of albums. A lot of people wouldn't know that, load of new gens, but and that's not talking. I'm not actually saying that because I've like studied Sabrina Carpenter. I knew that anyway. But yeah, so she comes out with Man's Best Friend, which I didn't think was that good, like Manchild or any of the songs, the singles. So that comes out. I didn't like. I liked individual songs. I liked Espresso and Juno and all those songs from the first album, but I didn't really consider myself a fan. And I don't really think I still am. Well, no, I am. I definitely am, but I just don't really feel like it. The new album, I listened to it half, maybe a quarter of the way through. I was like, this is decent, but then stopped listening to it. I went on Twitter, everyone was slating it, but I was like, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm not going to just, like, I normally just cave to what everyone else is saying, but I didn't. Went back and finished the rest a couple of days later, and I was like, this is amazing. Not all of the songs. Some of the songs I was like, oh, well, this is just whatever. But some of the songs, I came back and I was like, this stands out. And then after listening again and again, and it was House Tour that completely changed my opinion on the album. That's when I went, right, this is incredible. That one song is just incredible. And I went back and I listened to, because I just love the vibe. I love the like 70s jingly vibe. It's just, you don't hear stuff like that. It's so good. So I went back and listened to some of the other songs. I thought, this is quite good. I quite like this, and then I thought, yeah, this is really good, and it made me like those more. So yes, I was on 30%, I think, when I plugged this Mac in. It's now on 80%, and it's been on 80% for ages because it stops at 80%. This charger is insanely fast. But yeah, I don't want to stop streaming. I'm perfectly happy just to sit here. Do you want the house tour? I can take you to the first, second, third floor. Do you want the? Why did my brother send me that photo? That song on Spotify. Obviously, we just got Spotify messages. That's a new thing. Everyone's going to be talking about that in the future. This is a brand new thing that they've only just added. It's like I remember when DJ was a new thing. I had Indian Spotify at the time because I didn't want to pay for full Spotify. Because why would you when you can get it for 99p? I was like, well, it's such a waste of my money to pay for the full plan. And it was like no compromises. I didn't get my account hacked or anything. I don't anymore. So Spotify, don't. I'm not breaking the TOS. But yeah, at the time I had that, and I was like, I really want the DJ, and I couldn't get it when it came out in the UK. I had to wait until the Indians got it. And I didn't use it for years, and I've started to use the DJ more now because I'm obsessed with putting music on. I need it on all the time. It's like I've wired my brain with the dopamine of playing music, just like with being on my phone generally. Um, so instead of putting on songs I don't like or using shuffle or like playing the same song over and over again and actually just making myself sick of it, I've actually started using the DJ, and it's really good. It put on a load of songs tonight, and it does it every so often. Sometimes the DJ's picks are awful, but it will be sometimes. But tonight and every so often, it comes up with just some amazing. I was just driving back, and it had like "Safety Net" by Ariana Grande, "Research" by Ariana Grande and Big Sean, but like interspersed with like Ollie Murs was in there, and like what else? A load of other songs, a load of other random songs that all just came together and made a really good vibe, and I didn't want to turn almost any of them off. And then it put "Save All Your Kisses for Me" and "The Land of Make Believe" on, so there was some really random stuff in there as well. But yeah, also I can't drive still legally, so I turned 17 on my 17th birthday. I'm in Frankie and Benny's. I'm in a diner, and I'm on the phone to the driving instructor that I'm with now. That is now how many years ago is that? 4 years ago today. I'm on the phone to him, and I arrange my first driving lesson. It happens less than a week later, I think, or maybe just a week later or so. I would have been one of the first people in my year to pass. But then I run out of money and I run out of motivation because I don't really want to drive anyway. I really wanted to before I turned 17. And when I was turned 17, I was like, well, actually, I'm at the age now. So it's not like I'm looking forward to something. I'm now actually like, I don't really want to do it now that I'm at that age. That's basically my chronic condition in my life. I'm like, I really want to do this thing when I get to this age. But then when I do get to the age, I'm like, I don't really want to prioritize that. I don't really care about it. So then I just didn't learn until I was like almost 19. I'd taken 6 months of lessons. I genuinely think my instructor is no bueno, because, and he's a nice guy, and he is cheaper than most other instructors, and he's not a bad instructor, but he clearly was not bringing me on back then because I gave up. And I've gone back, and I've gone back to him because I had loads of instructors since, thinking, let's just get this over with. When I went back to driving, because I was like, well, was it the instructor, right? So I gave other instructors a chance. Eventually, I even stopped with them. So I go back to the original guy who I've got a test with in less than a month, and it's on the 2nd of October. It's about to happen. I will either pass or fail. I've already taken one driving test and failed it because I didn't really know the route. And I pulled out on a car apparently, but I didn't really think I did. Like it wasn't a massive thing, to be honest with you. And there was like some lane guidance stuff that I didn't know because I didn't really know where the lanes were. So I don't really blame myself for it. But it's been 2 years since then almost. So it will be next year. So yeah, I've had a lot of time and I'm a lot better of a driver. I'm actually a really good driver now, without a license. So yeah, I'm with the same guy again 4 years later, and I realise. So I put out on Facebook a thing saying, driving instructor wanted. I just need a few lessons. His wife recommends him, so I was like, okay, let's just go back to him. Maybe my experience, was just not that great. Maybe I was just not coming along quickly or whatever, but I might do now, right? So that was March, I think, or April. It is now almost October. My test will be October. I've had my brother's 17-year-old friends pass before me because I couldn't get a test. I couldn't believe that he couldn't find me a test or a cancellation. He said there aren't any cancellations, even though they have literally had tests. I don't know how that works. And I have spent, even though I said I only did a few lessons with this guy, and this infuriated me when I saw this figure because I didn't realise that I'd spent so much, almost £1,000 with this instructor for the second time. The first time I spent about 500-600, well, probably 400-500, and then I was with 3 instructors in that meantime. I spent like 800 on an intensive course, 300 on another guy. So I've probably spent in the region of like £3,000 on driving lessons. I still don't have a license, so I do think that this guy has been taking me for a ride because he couldn't find me a driving test. Fair dues, I couldn't find one either, but that was just when I looked. I didn't look that often, and everyone else seemed to be getting driving tests. He wouldn't do less than a lesson every week. He needed a lesson every single week, right? He wouldn't do every 2 weeks or anything like that. My other instructors would have been more lenient. I didn't need that many lessons. I told him that, and he wanted to keep going all the way up until the test. So I've now spent almost £1,000 with him, and I genuinely don't know why. And he hasn't taught me any of the show me, tell me questions, anything like that. So I forgot them because it was a year and a half ago when I did my test. I have no idea what they're going to be, so I'm just going to have to take the L and take the minor on those because I just don't remember them at all. And yeah, I'm not going to remember them on my own. My other instructors taught me just fine, but he isn't a bad instructor in terms of how he teaches you. He's very critical, which I don't like, but he isn't wrong with what he's saying, how he teaches you. So that's okay. But yeah, totally ripped me off, I realised a few days ago. Not happy about it. I literally only said I needed a few lessons, and here I am all these months later. I did not need, like, sure, I don't need to be doing one lesson every 2 weeks, but I needed to not be having that many lessons. I should have taken a break or something, because I've just wasted so much money doing this. It's unbelievable. Anyway, exasperated about that one. Crazy, look. Just as we're talking about it, I haven't been on TikTok in so many weeks, man. Should I have a look at some secondary school me photos? Again, I was 20 just just 40 minutes ago. So I've not been out of high school that long. It's actually kind of cringe until you're like 24, 23, 24 to actually be saying, oh, I was I was in high school. It feels like yesterday because it actually was yesterday. But for me, it is starting to get up there a little bit. It was 2023 when I left. 2021 when I finished my GCSEs. Which in the UK is like 16. So let's try and find some photos. Let's go all the way back to like when I started. September 2016. I had so much life in me, man. I was absolutely brimming with it, and high school just crushed me. Primary school me and early high school me was like totally freaking insane. You would love watching that version of me. But yeah, high school was pretty shit eventually. Got better towards the end, but yeah, I didn't even think about it at the time. I just was like, this is how things are now. And I don't know what caused it either. What's like a good photo from high school? This is me in my uniform. Don't want to give too much away. But there we go. This was 2018, I think. Yeah, November 2018. So this was almost 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago. Which is kind of crazy. I still can't believe it's been 6 years since summer 2019. I believe it now because like I've told myself it, like I've thought it so many times this year, but it doesn't feel real. I couldn't believe last year that it was 5 years. It was half a decade since that summer of 2019. The last summer that felt real and like really good was 2019, summer of 2019, and it's been 6 years now. And in 2020, 2021, I was thinking, it's been 3, 4 years since 2016, and that was an amazing summer as well. Everyone talks about 2016, 2019. I think they also sometimes say 2017, those kind of years, but it's mainly those 2 years. And I shit you not, if you were born in 2022, or you're not born yet, but you're watching this stream, I am not joking. I've been saying this since before the trend on TikTok. If you look back at my diary entries, I literally have been writing this for years. They were always the best. And it wasn't like the best in the sense that you were like in it and you were feeling like, oh my gosh, this is the best summer ever. Hold on. Just waiting for the stream to come back. But yeah, not in the sense that you're in the summer and you're like, this is the best summer ever, this is incredible. You don't notice. It's that good that you're not even noticing how good these summers are and how good the years are. 2016 was an incredible year. I was looking through all these photos. It was such an amazing year the whole way through. Well, my trip to America wasn't very good, even though it was an amazing trip. The actual thing itself, the scenario behind it was not great. But the whole year was amazing. All the opportunities that I had, all of the things I got to do, and how fun everything was. And you didn't think about it because you weren't even conditioned to think I should appreciate this moment because everything was just so easy and so fun. And that's basically the takeaway from 2019 as well. Like, it was just, you didn't even think, oh, I should really stop and think about how good this is, because it just was. It was just such a good year, such a good summer. And there you go. Here's me in a Santa hat in my uniform. I used to just keep my uniform on after school because I was perfectly comfortable in it. Like, I didn't have any issue. My parents used to tell me, take your uniform off. I didn't care, like, at all. I was perfectly comfortable. I looked like a businessman that's come home to his work to his wife after a hard day at the office. Because here I was. I just had a thought. There's like a table laid out for me in the lounge for my birthday, and I want to look at it now, like on stream, and react to it. But at the same time, I don't want to ruin the surprise because my mum set it up for me. So I want to look at it in front of her. But also, I've got a driving lesson that I didn't cancel. I wasn't sure if I was going to cancel it because I was like, when else am I going to have a driving lesson? I could cancel it, but then I won't have another driving lesson until my driving test. So I'm like, this is probably, let's just call it quits here. He can take my money this last time. I can have this lesson, but I will not be doing another one until my test, and that will be it. And that will, if I pass my test, hopefully I pass my test, that will be it, and I won't need to think about it. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm not even going to be here for long enough to really appreciate it later, so I might just have a quick look, see what they've set up for me. I can also like have it on video as well. Yeah, that was a crazy, crazy year. This is when the iPhone 11 came out. Oh my gosh, I was talking about there's the summer of 2019 because I was like, that was the only good thing about the year. The winter was legendary. And personally, 2016 was a lot better year for me personally, in my personal life. But generally, 2019 was just an incredible year. And like the winter when that came around, it was just the perfect winter. And like 2020 was just a weird year anyway, but 2021 had the most miserable winter I think I'd ever felt. Like every year in the early 2020s actually found a way to make summer or winter or whatever situation you were in worse. It was just awful. But it's been getting better. I still want it to get back to how it was though. It was incredible. Oh, it's weird. Got the birthday cake on my Snapchat. That is really strange. First snap sent of being 21. Ooh, and I am stopping using Snapchat now. The reason I'm not on it really anymore is because even when I was 18, 19, I was going, I'm trying to wind down and not use it as much. I didn't use it very much. Is it just started to rain? It's like really atmospheric. It's amazing. It's actually a really lovely night. Like I didn't realize it was going to turn out like this. It was really nice. But yeah, when I was like younger, I didn't actually use Snapchat. I got it in 2016. I had it like from when I started high school, but I didn't use it very much. I just kind of used text and stuff. I didn't really think about it. But then I needed it when I was like 17, 18 kind of thing, and everyone used it. But then, yeah, I was like, I want to get rid of it. I don't really like it. I never really liked the idea of Snapchat. I like the idea in the sense that, you can send snaps to people, but I'd rather they just be saved. Like, what's the point of sending useless, pointless snaps for the sake of a snap score? And it got me because that's exactly what I did for years. Like, I'm not saying that as if, I'm not exactly in that bracket, but like, I never understood it because I'm like, why get rid of that stuff? You're taking a photo, save it. unless it's useless. But then, you know, I don't know. Maybe the snap score should be built from something a little bit better than just useless, like pointless snaps that are just of your wall or whatever. But yeah, and also all your messages get deleted, and that's not just in the sense that I love to be nostalgic and look through old messages. I always do it, so that's the first thing for me, and that's why I don't like Snapchat. Case closed. But also, I say for example, there was something I needed to do recently, and I wanted to look back at what somebody had said to me. The person I just sent a snap to, because he's one of the only people I look at. I use on Snapchat anymore and don't use iMessage or whatever else. I am just hoping that's not dropping frames anymore. I went back on the chat, hoping there was someone else actually as well. She'd said something about a somber song, and I was like, was it 12 to 12? Because I was talking to her about it back then, and I obviously I was just over exaggerating how much I actually liked it. But anyway, I was like, was that the song I was talking about? But it got rid of it because I didn't save it in the chat. So like, because she hasn't opened the message recently that I sent after that, that's still there. Sometimes it saves more of the chat because more of the chat hasn't been opened, or like, I don't know, a certain time period hasn't passed or whatever since it's been opened. But it hadn't. The message that I specifically wanted was gone, and it was just some useless thing about Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know. It was annoying, and like you just have that with Snapchat. But memories are really good. That's a really good feature. That's like one of the only things that I would miss, like not using it ever again. SnapMap's decent, but you can just do that using Find My as well. I've got so many accounts as well. Look, there's one. How am I going to do this? There's one here with the cake, and there's another two there. And I think there's another one somewhere. I think I have a third. Or a fourth row. There we go. OG. There's my very first account, which only has like a 50 snap score. 130. Yeah. I didn't send snaps for streaks on that account at all. Ever. I should just send them just to mess around. I used to use filters. You know, that was back in 2016, you know, when I was in year 7, you used to send silly filters and it wasn't cringe because you were 11. But anyway. Yeah. The reason I'm actually streaming on my laptop, it's actually turned out really well because I've unplugged everything in my bedroom. Like it is absolutely, it's a bomb site, and my main PC, like my workstation PC, is I don't call it a gaming PC because I do so much more than that on it. It doesn't even run games that well, even though it's supposed to. It's completely unplugged from my monitor and everything. So, and my monitor's like on its back on my chair because I completely rewired everything up there, and it's a lot better now. It's better wired, but none of it's plugged in anymore. None of the like main stuff. So I just thought I'll use my laptop and hopefully it'll work, and it didn't. But now it is kind of. It's worked well enough to do this. I'm hoping. I haven't actually checked the stream since today started, but here we are. I will have to get up pretty early. I'll have to get up about 7 o'clock this morning. But I'm not too worried about that. I went to bed really late last night because I couldn't sleep, and I didn't wake up that late. I woke up about 10. Didn't get sleep until almost 3, I think. It was like 2:30. I remember checking my watch. I haven't taken it off since. I just kind of did the blue thing, the blue light to see what time it was. It was like 2:30 something. But yeah, there was something I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I'm trying to make a good impression on my roommates before I even get there. Not because I want to hide behind text and stuff, and I wouldn't be saying this stuff in person. I didn't even like I sent the first message on this group chat that you get with the university roommate like app basically with all your flatmates. I sent the first thing like a month ago, so I was never expecting anyone to actually respond. So I was just building on the thing that I'm just gonna speak to them in person and get to know them in person. So it actually kind of, shot me in the foot, because now I've got to I've got to start the conversation on message and join it before I even get there, which I wasn't planning on doing at that point because nobody had responded to me. But somebody else put a message and they all responded to them because it was like a month later. And that's typical, isn't it? But I was like, is anyone going out clubbing? And no one's actually responded to me yet. But they have to. I will be asking them in person because I didn't go out last year. So if I'm not going out with them, I'll go out with the people I met in first year. But I want to experience as many places near my uni as possible. So the more the merrier, mate. I'm going to ask everyone. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to be like the oldest person in the club. I swear, like, in the US, there's like a joke about how, like, 21-year-olds, they're like me today. Like, in the US, I'd be like, if I was born in the US, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm having my first drink. This is amazing, my first legal drink. Everyone makes fun of them because they don't drink as much underage, even though they do. And like by that point at 21, everyone's retiring from the clubs in Europe. But I just never really went that much. I wasn't that fussed. I was waiting until I could do it at uni properly, and here we are. Couldn't do it commuting. I just wasn't really. I was too interested in my own thing. Like I'm not against it at all, and like I wanted to go and I went, not as much as I wanted to, but I wanted to go more. It's just, you know, didn't really end up happening that much as it could have done anyway. I was just kind of doing other things, I think, and it didn't fall into place. But here we are. I have been, but just not as much as you'd expect for a 21-year-old, I think. Anyway, I just reminded myself, I used to have like a slight American accent. You know how when you're a kid, like Gen Z and Gen Alpha, um, have like they develop like an American accent. I used to have that. So like I'm no better than Gen Alpha. I'm just less brain rotted. But I kind of the way I said four really reminded me of the way that Americans say it. Um, Even though I think that's just the way that we say it over here in Leicestershire. But yeah, I did genuinely used to kind of have certain ways I said certain things were kind of Americanized. I think they still are, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think of something specific. But yeah, not as much, I don't think. Because obviously you can't really talk like that in school anyway. You get taken the absolute piss out of. So obviously you would grow out of it, but still. Okay, I'm actually getting tired now. It's finally hit me. Tiredness. Finally. It's 54 minutes past. I'm going to head off soon. I was going to say I'm going to carry on streaming till 1. But I don't really know what I'm going to say for the next 6 minutes if I'm planning on going off anyway, kind of thing. It's President Trump's state visit, isn't it, today? Donald Trump's visit to the UK, I think. So he'll be in the UK on my birthday. Keir Starmer's first one in one out deportation flight takes off, and I'm not a political commentator by any means, without any migrants. Somehow that's not front page news. Like that's the second news story on the Apple News app. But there's no migrants on that plane. So they were going on about the Conservatives. Again, I'm not a political commentator, I'm not going to go on about it. But they were going on about this Rwanda plan, which I didn't think that was that bad of an idea as a deterrent if you're going to try and deter people from, coming into the country and you're going to tell them you're going to deport them. If that would have worked, and if it hadn't been Labour standing in their way stopping them, that would have worked, right? And their thing, even they were going, we're going to do it properly. We're going to do it properly. Their thing, they didn't have a thing until they had this one in, one out thing, which is worse than the Rwanda plan anyway, because you have to take someone in to even do it, another migrant, and that isn't even working. Keir Starmer just looks like such a fool. He said so many things. He was such a hubristic guy, and I actually wished him well starting, his prime ministership. I thought, I really hope he does well, but he's done terribly. Some things he's done well, but most things he's done really badly. And he had this real overconfidence. We're going to do everything properly. He's sacked most of his cabinet, reshuffled everyone. He has had scandal after scandal. He said he was going to do the migrant thing better and is now having to tighten his stance on it. And even still, it's not working. It's just been the first plane's taken off without any migrants, so it's completely failed on the first day, because the same people, like, he was blocking the Conservatives, and now people to the left of him are now blocking him, and he thought he was somehow immune to it. He's lost it, mate. Anyway, there's my take on it. So yeah, 57. Now I'm starting to kind of come to terms with the fact that it's my birthday. You know how I said earlier, the more you say something in your head, the more it becomes real. It's not that I've noticed anything different, but it's just I've kind of thought that thought a few times, like it is the next day. I know now, my brain's kind of coming to terms with the fact that it is now the 16th, and I've kind of seen that date in the corner of my eye a few times. So now I'm thinking, it is my birthday. I am now 21, or I will be at 10 o'clock tonight. Yeah, I guess I just won't feel like it just yet. But yeah, I don't really feel like it anyway. I'm just going to enjoy this year, I guess. Because it's not just your birthday, your 21st birthday, your 21st year is supposed to be a good year. So I guess I will enjoy it. I'll go out to America with that camp thing. I don't see how I would not do it. It's probably my best excuse to do it, because I was, as I say, I was going to do it. I was going to do it at 18, 19. I did a video about it. I was just going to start a series and then like book a holiday and go out there. And I was actually on the last hurdle. Like, I just didn't go. I had some things booked for it actually to go out there. So like the holiday was in place, but not all of it. So I didn't end up going. And that was when I was 19, I think. But I think I booked some of it before I even turned 19. And maybe I was 18. I don't know. Either way, I didn't end up doing that, and it just was because it was just too much. I didn't know what I was even going to do out there, what I was even supposed to do. It was all too much, so I didn't end up doing it. But this would make a lot more sense if I go out there, do the summer camp, vlog the hell out of it. Even if not at the summer camp, I'd still do TikToks and stuff. And then afterwards, I can vlog it and make videos and do TikToks and everything on my own, have my own independence, and I've already been in America. I'll be in a good position. It actually makes perfect sense. I'd completely stopped thinking about it until the start of this stream, but it does make sense if I think about it now. Yeah, I'll probably do it. I'll pay the money tonight, and then I'll just see if I can get it refunded if I change my mind on it. How about that? I'll do that. I will do that before I get to bed. And I'll get my interview done and stuff. Because my brother's looking to do it as well. So hopefully he does it. If he doesn't, then that's another reason for me to decide not to do it. I'm not, like, it's not something where I'm actually going to be mad if I don't do it. But it would be cool if I did. Anyway, almost 2 hours in now. It's 1 o'clock exactly. I do need to get a new phone. I've had this for a year and a half now, or almost a year and a half, and it's the iPhone 13 mini. I only got it because my iPhone 12 Pro, I put a weight down and it was on top of the thing. I didn't even drop it on the thing or anything. It literally just, I put it on top of the screen ever so slightly and it destroyed the whole freaking thing. So I just use it as a spare phone now because I can't really use the screen for much, for very long anyway. It was a great phone, and I'd always wanted to try out the Mini. I shouldn't have bought one though because I should have just like given it a go first, like actually tried it instead of just buying it and using it as an experiment, because now I've been stuck with a tiny phone with a tiny battery and that barely even runs. Like, it's so slow, man. And this hasn't even been updated in a year, and it's got now 2 versions old iOS, and it's still miserably slow. It's just like, it was like the worst possible idea. I should have just got my iPhone 12 repaired, really. I don't know why I didn't do that. I think it was just because it was going to be so expensive. It was like, I can't justify it. I might as well just get another phone, get the 13 and try out the Mini while I'm at it. But yeah, I think I'll eventually upgrade. I really want the iPhone 17 Air. I do love the look of that phone. If it was me 10 years ago when I was 11, well, let's say 9 years ago when I was 12, I remember watching the iPhone 7 keynote when I was on my 12th birthday, I think it was, or around then. I think the iPhone 7 came out on my 12th birthday or something. I remember watching the keynote live though. It was the first keynote that I watched live, I think. Tim Cook presenting the iPhone 7, and I loved the look of the jet black and everything. But I can't remember what I was going to say now. I don't know actually. I had a point to it, but it's gone, completely gone. Oh yeah, I was watching the keynote for this one, wasn't I? And this is the first phone in years that I've wanted. This wasn't the point, I don't think, but this is kind of, it links onto it. This is the first phone in years that I've wanted, this iPhone 17 Air from Apple, that I've really just been like, probably the first phone since the iPhone 12 Pro in. I remember when all the influencers had the Sierra Blue, I think it was called. It was like a really deep ocean blue iPhone 12 color, and it looked incredible. And I already wanted it, but now I saw everyone had it, all the like big influencers. I was like, that just looks as good as I thought it would. And then before that was the iPhone 11. I thought that was pretty cool. I wanted the iPhone 11 Pro, but not as much as the 12 Pro. The 12, it looked so good. I ended up getting the gold 12 Pro, just like it was a split second thing, where when I ended up actually going to buy the phone, I completely changed the idea of the color that I wanted to get. And I love the gold color on that phone. It's incredible for its own reasons. It is in and of itself one of the best colors of a phone. The new ones don't look even close to as good, but I'd never actually wanted that color. I wanted the other one. And the one before that I wanted was like the iPhone 10 and 10s. But the 10 was so good. I remember when that came out as well. I remember talking about it the next day with one of my mates. I was like, he was like, "Have you seen the new iPhone 10?" Or maybe I said it. And it was like a brand new, completely different thing. And yeah, everyone had iPhone 5Ss when I started high school. I didn't. I had a Galaxy S5, which was still pretty new. It was actually newer than the iPhone 5S, but it didn't have any software support even then, I don't think. Samsung had given up on it, but it was a good phone. I always wanted an iPhone though. I would have settled for an iPhone 4S just to have an iPhone, um, like like an iPhone to own, even if it was like a spare phone. I just wanted one, and my dad was like, "You're not having an iPhone. You're not following the crowd," kind of thing. And I just wanted an iPhone. And then I ended up getting an iPhone 3GS because I was just collecting phones anyway. And then I got a 7 the next year in 2019 when I was 14. And then I got an 8 Plus the next year, which I still use. I still use the 7 as a spare phone. It's like my main spare phone, actually. I always forget about that. Got an iPhone SE as well. Oh, actually, I did have an iPhone SE anyway. That was like a hand me down, but it wasn't all mine. It was like my brother's and mine. So I don't really count that one. But I had that in like 2018. And skip a load of phones, iPhone SE, second gen, iPhone 12, iPhone 13 is where I am now. And I do need to get another one. But yeah, not too worried about that just yet. Yeah, so there we go. I'll head off in a second. But yeah, I'm gonna do more streams like this. There was absolutely like I was like better time than any to do exactly the kind of stream I wanted to do. Like I always have this sort of you know thing, this um desire to like entertain people like overly, and then I end up being really awkward anyway. More so than if I just did what I wanted to actually be doing, which was just sit in front of the camera, just doing what I want to do, talking about whatever, letting the conversation go wherever it goes. Going on my phone for a few minutes because then it like sparks something else, um, and just coming back and like walking around the room, just doing whatever, literally. That was like my favorite type of stream. So I was like, I'll do that for this. Better time than any to do it. And also, it was better time than any just before my birthday to start that series because I did have the video that I posted yesterday, this first confessionals video, which is the series name. It's just like the working title that I had for it, but I'm actually going to call the series that because that's basically what it is. It's like, as I said. But yeah, I actually recorded that video or a version of it like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, edited it and never posted it. So today I've recorded it on TikTok again and posted that version, and that's the version that's now memorialized as the first ever one that I ever did in that series. But it did exist in some form weeks ago. I just never posted it. And I have posted similar stuff from that kind of same series. I think I already started the series once, but not properly. This is the actual first time, really. Anyway, yeah, I just have no desire to turn off the stream. Let's go and have a look at this, shall we? Because that's the one thing I haven't done. Also, that was really weird, wasn't it? I don't know why my thing's riding up like that. But yeah, look at this. I'm like an IRL streamer. I should do this. This isn't on my iPhone. This is on my MacBook. I'm just like carrying it around. This is going to be terrible quality as well, this stream. It's not even going to be 720p, is it? Or not a very good 720p. But that's fine. Doesn't really matter as long as the stream's up. Like, I would have cared at one point. But at the minute, I just want the stream to exist. So let's have a look. I'm not going to spoil the surprise too much, but I do want to have a look what it's like and show you guys. So here we go. I still can't see because I haven't turned around. I don't know what this is. What is this big, huge thing? This is the only thing I saw. I don't know what the huge thing is. It's like kind of hollow. But not fully. It's like a photo frame. If I'd say it was anything, it was a photo frame. And then there's this one as well. It's like a DVD case or a photo frame or something. If I had to call it anything, you know how like if you wrapped a photo in a frame, it would have like this kind of bezels around the edge, and then like it obviously goes in, and there's the glass where the thing is, so like it kind of tapers in, or like a DVD case where it's like hollow a little bit, so you can kind of crush it down. That's the only thing I can think it was. I don't know what that is. I didn't even know I was getting anything for my birthday. Nobody's asked me if I wanted anything other than my dad. I'd imagine this. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to. Is what I'm saying. Like at 21, I would imagine this is the last one that anyone even would ask you for anyway. I guess my grandparents do ask my parents sometimes, but not really. Although if I can, if I'm still, almost broke at 40, I'll just ask for what my dad got for his 40th birthday, because he got a bloody iPad. He got the iPad 3 when that was brand new. It was an amazing birthday gift. Because imagine that, it was like £400. And it was like literally the thing to have, an iPad at the time, 2013 or whatever it was, 2012. Amazing birthday thing. Anyway, that's actually it now. I'm tired. It's 1:11 p.m. I started this at like 11:11, didn't I? But yeah. Thank you for watching, genuinely. It's been a really, really good stream. If you've made it all the way to the end in VOD form, because nobody's really watching this, I don't think. I don't do this for viewers. I do it because I like just having these videos up and being able to do what I want with them. If I wanted to cut this down to clips as well, I could do that, but mainly I just like having it up. And for the future as well. Just to have done this video, to have spent this time, and to have that always be there. You know, as long as YouTube's up, and if I save the video, you know, as long as I have the video. This is what I did on my 21st birthday, and you've seen it, and you can watch it, and you can share that with me. I'm entertaining whoever's watching by also entertaining myself and enjoying myself, like just making a video. It's perfect, really. If I wasn't doing anything else, this is what I would be doing, and this is what I ended up doing. So anyway, I don't want to end the stream now, but I'm tired and I need to get up. That's not really the reason I'm ending it. It's just I'm tired. But thank you for watching. I will be back soon. I will be back because this was great. Obviously, the next stream won't be as important as this one, but yes, I will do it just because it doesn't matter. It'll still be fun. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next stream. And it is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I'm like Michael Scott. I actually can't end the stream. It's like he wouldn't be able to do it. See you later. Should I just be in silence? I'm gonna take my phone. I'm gonna take my laptop up, turn off all the video and everything, and make sure that it's not buffering or anything, so I don't lose any of the last bit of the video if it's still buffering any of it. So this is the last word I'm gonna say. See you later.